सिलेंडर की कालाबाजारी पर 70 मामले दर्ज, 10 लोग गिरफ्तार। फ्रॉम यूपी। दूसरा जहाज आज पहुंचेगा भारत। भारतीय जहाज नंदा देवी आज पहुंचेगा कांडला पोर्ट। इस्लामोफोबिया की मनगढ़ंत कहानियां घड़ता है देश में। सिलेंडर की कालाबाजारी पर 70 मामले दर्ज, 10 लोग गिरफ्तार। एलपीजी लेकर दूसरा जहाज आज पहुंचेगा भारत। भारतीय जहाज नंदा देवी आज पहुंचेगा कांडला पोर्ट। पाकिस्तान भारत से। काबुल में एक अस्पताल पर हुए पाकिस्तानी हमले में 400 की मौत। राज्यसभा की 11 में से 9 सीट पर एनडीए की बम्पर जीत। देश में सिलेंडर की कालाबाजारी के खिलाफ अभियान जारी। सिलेंडर की कालाबाजारी पर 70 मामले दर्ज, 10 लोग गिरफ्तार। यूपी से एलपीजी लेकर दूसरा जहाज आज पहुंचेगा भारत। भारतीय जहाज नंदा देवी आज पहुंचेगा कांडला पोर्ट। इस्लामोफोबिया पर भारत ने संयुक्त राष्ट्र में पाकिस्तान को लताड़ा। इस्लामोफोबिया की मनगढ़ंत कहानियां गढ़ता है पाकिस्तान भारत से। काबुल में एक अस्पताल पर हुए पाकिस्तानी हमले में 400 की मौत। राज्यसभा की 11 में से 9 सीट पर एनडीए की बम्पर जीत। देश में सिलेंडर की कालाबाजारी के खिलाफ अभियान जारी। सिलेंडर की कालाबाजारी पर 70 मामले दर्ज, 10 लोग गिरफ्तार। यूपी से SCD seeks record of membership from Jalandhar. 3.5 kilogram heroin, 6 pistols seized in Amritsar. State government to develop Mohali as major IT hub from Chandigarh. A session on information technology and IT enabled services, highlighting Punjab as a premier destination for technological investment and digital innovation, was held on the concluding day of the program. Addressing the session, Punjab to boost MSMEs with dedicated agency, Minister said from his man. Punjab CM Bhagwant Mann, Punjab CM says, we have beautiful locations in Punjab where films can be shot are based on Punjabi settings. If films production work could also be done Bollywood and music industry. Growing Punjabi film industry and rising OTT demand. Scenic locations like mustard fields, dams, and rural landscapes ideal for shoots. Rich cultural elements such as Bhangra, Gita, and authentic artists. Film promotion policy offering 25 to 30% production subsidy. Punjab is planning to set up a film institute and has initiated talks with top production houses for the move, Mr. Bhavan Singh Mann said on Sunday, addressing a press conference after media. An entertainment session on the concluding day of Progressive Punjab Investors Summit, Mann said. Discussions were underway with Netflix series Yes Raj Films and a production company of actor Shekhar Suman to explore collaboration with the state. Man said the Hindi film industry had strong Punjabi roots, noting that many producers, singers, and actors in Bollywood come from Punjab. Without a Punjabi song, filmmakers feel their film's music is incomplete or risky because Punjabis are spread across the world, he said. Dharmendra, the CM, said suitable for film shooting. We have beautiful locations in Punjab where films can be shot. Films, man said. He said the proposed film city would be developed after consulting filmmakers on the kind of location, equipment, and technological facilities it wants revenue, while filmmakers want to upgrade the project could help generate employment opportunities, particularly in direct jobs in the state. Referring to Punjab's cultural strength, the CM said filmmakers could find authentic settings and artists in the state. Punjab has master artists, he said. Earlier, Invest Punjab CEO Amit Dhaka highlighted provisions under the Punjab Film Promotion Policy 2026. He said the period while Punjabi language films will receive 30% subsidy up to rupees 3.5 crore. Dhaka added the policy also provided 20% capital subsidy for setting up a film city, film studio, VFX studio, and training institute. Punjab has a large cultural footprint, Dhaka said, adding that the state hopes to attract filmmakers through a single window line permission system and incentive. He said the state's media and entertainment industry was expected to receive a boost, with Punjab's content already occupying around 40% within the next 4 to 5 years. Agroforestry likely to be exempted from tree bill news from Chandigarh. काबुल में एक अस्पताल पर हुए पाकिस्तानी हमले में 400 की मौत राज्यसभा 11 में से 9 न्यूयॉर्क और सैन फ्रांसिस्को China OK's launch of brain computer interface medical device in world first from Hong Kong. Quest to identify artist Banksy uncovers much more than a name from Ukraine. Communist Party's office attacked in Cuba over outages, oil facilities, toxic black rain, endangers public from Dubai. Russia supplying Iran with Shahid drones from Ukraine. Russia supplying Iran with Shahid drones to use against the US and Israel. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky told CNN in an interview served aired on Saturday. Oil paused for further gains as West Asia conflict threatened export facilities from Singapore. Oil prices could extend gains at Monday's open as the US-Israel war disruption. While little was done to head off oil, the Strait of Hormuz problem, Israel approves emergency military funding as Iran wall rages from Jerusalem. Israel has approved an $827 million emergency budget allocation for military purchases. Israeli media reported Sunday as the war with shekel cappage was approving a telephone meeting. The Daily Haaretz reported Iran arrests 20 people over suspected links to Israel from media. Tehran. Iranian authorities have arrested at least 20 people in the country's northwest on suspicion of cooperating. Trump said oil of diplomatic solution, says report from Palm Beach, Florida, or Dubai or Jerusalem. Rain, snowfall bring tent down in Himachal Pradesh from Kulu. 35% panchayats in Haryana eligible for TB-free cert from Chandigarh. Wheat crop over 50 acres is surpassed after canal bridge in Sirsa from Hisar. Judicial complexes need to function like host, CBI says. The Chief Justice of India laid the foundation stone of Mandi Hills and will have 4 blocks providing better facilities for judges, lawyers and the public from Kulu. Chief Justice of India, Justice Suryakant, on Sunday laid the foundation stone of Mandi Judicial Court Complex to be constructed at a cost of rupees 152 crore in the presence of Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu. The state-of-the-art court complex will be built on 9.6 hectares and will have four blocks providing better facilities for judges, lawyers and the public. Addressing a legal literacy camp on the occasion, Justice Khan said the judicial complexes needed to function like hospitals. He said people go to hospital with hope and the judicial system should also work with the same spirit of service. People come to courts with expectations of relief and justice. He said with increasing facilities, the responsibility of the judicial system also increased. He said Mandi was also known as Choti Kashi, where millions of people visit with great devotion. He added that today the foundation of a temple of justice was being laid at this place, which would soon be completed. Justice Khan said Sunday's gathering was very important. Everyone talks about fundamental rights, but fundamental duties are. He added that Himachal Pradesh had preserved its natural beauty and therefore it was necessary to make people even at the grassroots level. In his address and ensuring access to justice and rights for every citizen of the state was the commitment of the government. He said the state was working towards inclusive development and social justice in accordance with the spirit of the Constitution. His government was ensuring that every citizen not equal opportunities and that the roots of democracy became stronger. Crucial RSS meet concludes in UP Chandigarh. The 3 day Kali Bharatiya Pratinidhi Sabha meeting of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh concluded with the resolution on the expansion of organizational work, greater activism of the virtuous process. As last year on September 24, police opened fire on protesters, killing four and injuring 18 today from Srinagar. Pak terrorist killed in Uri from Srinagar. Action against officials over Kasol garbage mess land identified for solid waste management plant from CS Kulu. Himachal Pradesh National Green Tribunal that action was initiated against officials for mismanaging garbage disposal in Kasol, even of the top tourist destinations in the state. Five in Rajkot students arrested in class madness near Para Papilia, a few kilometers from the institute campus. Classmates were arrested for allegedly abetting the suicide. Sudan cab driver shifted to Canada. One woman burned to death in Delhi from New Delhi. High Court asked Delhi police to explain illegal detention of activists from New Delhi. Assam signed final pacts with four armed groups and ethnic militancy from Guwahati. The four groups had led down arms in 2012 in the presence of the then Union Home Minister and Chief Minister and signed the suspension of Operation Pact. Lasting peace begins with calm minds. Compassion lies at the heart of the spiritual path. It is not the very essence of our humanity. Without compassion, peace within remain out of reach, and without inner peace, peace in the world cannot take root. Compassion is not just a feeling, it is a deep and enduring concern for the suffering of others, paired with a wish to relieve it, unlike pity, which looks down on others. Compassion arises from recognizing our shared experience. Others like us wish to be happy and free from pain. This simple truth forms the basis of a compassionate life. From the moment we are born, we rely on care. As infants, we survive only through kindness and protection. These early experiences leave a deep imprint. Even as adults, we seek love and connection. This tells us that compassion is not foreign to us, it is a part of our nature. But like a seed, it must be nurtured through intention and awareness. Compassion is something confused with attachment or emotional dependence, but true compassion is not biased or limited. It is not just for our family or friends, but for all beings, even those who oppose or harm us. When compassion extends beyond preference, it becomes a source of great strength. It allows us to meet even difficult people with understanding rather than hostility. Compassion alone is not enough. It must be guided by wisdom. Without understanding, our efforts may be misplaced. Wisdom allows us to see the roots of suffering and respond effectively. In Buddhism, compassion and wisdom are inseparable. Wisdom sees the emptiness of fixed identity. Compassion responds to suffering with care. Together they form a force for transformation. Compassion begins with ourselves. Many people are unkind to themselves, thinking this will make them stronger. But harshness blocks growth. Harshness blocks growth by learning to treat ourselves with patience and acceptance. We become better able to care for others, happiness to someone close, live free from suffering. Another practice is Tonglen, giving and taking. Breathe in the suffering of others and breathe out healing. This helps reduce self-centered habits and open the heart. Meditation is helpful, but compassion must also be lived. It is expressed through kind speech, patience, and small everyday acts. Sometimes it means saying no or setting boundaries, but always with care, not anger. Compassion also means taking action to protect the vulnerable, care for the environment, and serve others without seeking reward. Obstacles to compassion include anger, fear, pride, and especially indifference. In today's world, we are flooded with suffering and bad news. It is easy to become numb, but compassion does not to care sincerely and to not turn away. In a world of conflict and division, compassion offers a different way. Lasting peace does not come only from laws or government. It begins with individuals who develop calm minds and kind hearts. This is why I often say, if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. For fortune buying a money plant, parent has his ups and downs. Dissent and democracy vouchers release highlights the key problem of arbitrary use of harsh laws. In four states, these five key factors aren't making headlines. Indian policies made the voting schedule tight with this time. Can parties be tight-fisted with freebies? ईरान के स्वामित्व वाले नहीं हैं जहाज। इस्लामोफोबिया की मनगढ़ंत कहानियां घड़ता है पाकिस्तान भारत से। काबुल में एक अस्पताल पर हुए पाकिस्तानी हमले में 400 की मौत। राज्यसभा की 11 में से 9 सीट। देश में सिलेंडर की कालाबाजारी के खिलाफ अभियान जारी। सिलेंडर की कालाबाजारी पर 70 मामले दर्ज, 10 लोग गिरफ्तार यूपी से। संयुक्त राष्ट्र ने पाकिस्तान को लताड़ा। इस्लामोफोबिया की मनगढ़ंत कहानियां गढ़ता है पाकिस्तान, भारत से। संयुक्त राष्ट्र महासभा के मंच से भारत ने पाकिस्तान को कई शब्दों में घेरा। पाकिस्तान अपने पड़ोस में इस्लामोफोबिया की झूठी कहानियां गढ़ने में व्यस्त। राज्यसभा की 11 में से 9 सीटें। देश ने उठाए सवाल। पाकिस्तान अपने धार्मिक पहचान को हथियार के रूप में करता है इस्तेमाल। भारतीय जहाज नंदा देवी आज पहुंचेगा कांडला पोर्ट। Indian Paul League ISIS made the voting schedule tight this time. ISIS made the voting schedule tight this time. Can parties be tight-fisted with freebies? States and the nation, if open, if opposite parties win in Bengal in April, bearing perhaps Assam, TTN loss can lose in Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Kerala, and Puducherry, and yet remain content with a real increase in vote share. The young women want medium water in all states. They are aspirational, and the swing factor keeping parties guessing. From Tiger reserves to booth 5 with 5 voters. The new polling station in election bound state. 17.4 crore voters eligible for polls in Tamil Nadu, Bengal, Assam, Kerala, Puducherry from New Delhi. AIA DMK chief Palace Swami says to alliance with Vijay CVK from Chennai. CPM. All eyes on Hemanta Gogoi in Assam polls from Guwahati. Tarmuk number of pages present matter BJP will be shown to. People will vote in favor of development, stability, BJP says from New Delhi. Condensed voting period but delayed counting this time from New Delhi. West Bengal CM clears clergy honorarium hike the areas ahead of poll announcement from Kolkata. Tech savvy MBA gain as in BMSI sector IIT hiring slows. Position in fintech strategy. Coursework as companies hiring for the IT sector over the last 2 decades. The banking, financial services, and insurance companies have emerged as employers absorbing top-tier management talent. Recruiters are no longer hunting for traditional number crunches. Vacant B.Ed college seats reflect falling interest in teaching. The decline in admissions to Bachelor of Education (BEd) program in Karnataka this year mirrors a broader national trend seen across teacher education institutions over the past few years. A recent report citing data from Karnataka's Department of School Education shows that only about 79% of the 18,150 government quota seats in B.Ed colleges were filled for the 25-6 academic session, leaving nearly 3,800 seats vacant. Similarly, patterns has emerged across several states. According to a report in UP, from about 6.67 lakh applicants in 2022 to around 2.23 lakh in 2024, rising concerns that a significant number of seats may remain vacant this year as well. Speaking to Education Times, Professor Pankaj Arora, Professor Department of Education, DU Chairperson, NCT says teacher education institutions across India are increasingly struggling to attract students. The general trend across the country is that many teacher education institutions are not getting adequate admission and seats remain vacant. Many institutions complain what they have 200 seats allocated, what they are not able to fill, even 50% of them, he said, attributing the decline party to changing career preferences among younger students. Professor Oda students typically complete a 3 year UG degree followed by 2 year B.Ed program and then must qualify eligibility tests such as CTED before becoming eligible for teaching positions. This takes considerable time and many students prefer to use those 2 years to pursue courses such as an MBA. He adds initiatives such as ITEP, proper teaching training, improving working conditions and proper compensation will help to attract young people to the profession of teaching, he adds. 3 फरवरी को हंगामे की वजह से कांग्रेस सांसद निलंबित हुए थे। भविष्य के लिए सांसदों को अनुशासन में रखने के लिए सख्त निर्देश। सोनिया गांधी के ऊपर जीत विधेयक को चर्चा के बाद लौटाया जाएगा। संसद में आज ग्रामीण विकास मंत्रालय के कामकाज होगी चर्चा। प्रश्नकाल के दौरान पूछे जाएंगे अहम सवाल। कई अहम विधायी कार्य सूचीबद्ध। शून्यकाल में संसद उठाएंगे लोक हित से जुड़े मुद्दे। Has pointed out that formally established diplomatic relations are formally established only after the grant of de jure recognition. The majority of jurists are of the view that so far as the are legal effects are concerned, there is hardly any difference between the two types of recognition. According to William W. Bishop, if at all there is difference, it is political rather than legal. In the view of Professor Carlson, from the juristic point of view, the distinction between de jure and de facto recognition is of no importance. Any condition of international law relating to recognition can ignore it. In the view of Fenwick and Lepage, there are certain discrepancies between de facto and de jure recognition. They have pointed out that in case of succession, only the state which has been granted de jure recognition will be deemed to be the successor state. It may, however, be pointed out that in last 2 years, the judicial decisions are not subscribed to this view, since succession to liability is same whether de facto or de jure recognition is extended. It cannot be agreed consistently that a difference arises in succession of rights between de facto and de legal. In de jure recognition, formal diplomatic relations are established, whereas in de facto recognition, diplomatic relations are not established. To conclude, in the words of Professor Charles L. Cashred, whatever the merits of the arguments for or against the distinction between de facto and de jure recognition, it is clear that the difference, if any, is becoming less clear. Becoming less clear. The existence of de facto recognition is becoming a moribund issue simply by not being raised as ability by the government. Recognition of insurgency denotes the state of political revolt in a state. Insurgency presupposes a civil war. Insurgency is used to denote the condition of political revolt in a country where the rebels have not attained the character of belligerents. Thus, insurrection is a war of citizens against the state for the purpose of obtaining power in the whole or part. It always implies a sustained armed struggle by a group of citizenry against an established order. In fact, insurgency is an intermediate stage between tranquility and belligerency. In the view of Judge Rattrash, the state recognizes the insurgents of another state. It would imply that it would not treat such insurgents as violators of law. It partially internationalizes the conflict. In the view of Judge Rattrash, it is not against international law to recognize insurgents as a de facto government over the territory under their control. It is merely an acknowledgement of fact situation for practical purposes. Essential conditions for recognizing insurgents. Control. There are the essential conditions for recognition of insurgents. One is control over a considerable part of the territory. Two is considerable support to the insurgents from the majority of the people living in obligation. Considerable support to the insurgents from the majority of the people living in the territory, and insurgents should have the capacity and will carry out the national obligation. Effects of recognition of insurgency. The recognition of insurgency is less important than the recognition of belligerents. There are effects ensues from the recognition of insurgency. They that are insurgents are not treated as violents. The rebels, civil strife are treated as hostages, journalists remain the public enemy until they are recognized as insurgents. The international rules of war become applicable to them. Recognition of belligerency when the insurgents to the laws of war and have a determinate territory under their control, they may be recognized as belligerents whether or not. Recognition of belligerency is the question of policy and not of law. Consequently, some states find it convenient to recognize belligerency and some do not. The policy of state in this regard hinges upon national interest of recognizing state. The belligerency is in fact the heightened status of three stages of the ascending instance of the conflict which presents a violent challenge to the sovereign authority within state. Recognition of the belligerent is the acknowledgement of a juridical, juridical fact that there exists a state of hostilities between the factions contending for power and authority. Essential conditions for recognition of belligerents. शिवसेना ने समान नियमों का किया स्वागत। स्वतंत्रता विधेयक कांग्रेस ने सुरक्षा रैली कार्मिकों पर उठाए सवाल। राज्यसभा की 11 में से 9 सीटों पर चुनाव आज। देश में सिलेंडर की कालाबाजारी के खिलाफ अभियान जारी। I thank all my brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, students, scholars, teachers, trainers, professors, professionals, officials, listeners, and I thank all the secretary, doctors, and directors. I thank all eligible